All right, so welcome back to yet another episode of the I Lost My Podcast with none other than one of your hosts, Joshua Husky Hefe, the Fat Fitness Model, Jose Cortez, and I'm here with the beautiful.
It's your girl Michi G, and of course you know by now I'm the author of the book I Lost My Mom, Memoir of a Motherless Daughter, which is only available on Amazon, so check that out. But yeah, it's your girl Michi G.
For sure. So before we get started, we know we did our greeting. We always gotta do our simple mental health check-in.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you first. How is your mental health for the week, today? What you feeling like?
Today, well, we'll do for the week. This week was pretty cool. I've been recently taking more supplements and vitamins and stuff. So I haven't had any anxiety flare up or anything, any depression. I've been amazing. I feel like magnesium and iron together works wonders for health. So yeah, today was a good day, even at work. I don't know, my attitude has just been real positive this week.
Marvelous.
What about yours? How's your week?
Um,
How's your day?
my mental health is I'm pretty solid. Yeah, I don't let work get to me. It can try and get to you, but I don't let work get to me. I'm in a new position, so you know. Yeah, thanks. Insert audience applause. But yeah, I'm in a new position, and sometimes it gets, hectic when you want.
Is it challenging for you?
It's a little challenging with changes, but it's okay. So, like I said, I don't let that get to me. So overall, my mental health is good. I recently got plugged in with, I don't want to say a food vendor, but this guy, he has a farm and
Connections, networking.
you know what I'm talking about. So good produce coming. He dropped off a watermelon on your boy. Like, I'm at the gym, he dropped off a watermelon. Like, here you go, my boy. I'm like, my boy. We like, my boys.
And not to interrupt you, Pooh, but for those that maybe this is your first time watching or listening to our podcast, aside from me being an author, my husband is an owner of we'll say Tennessee's best cheesecakes. So
I will put my cheesecake against
that's where
anybody,
his plug comes from.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, man, my plug. I got chickens. As in the words of my niece, we have chickens across the border. What's your order? But nevertheless, I ain't gonna get hung up on that. So, I have a question for you all. Since we got you all acquainted and here in the podcast, right? Wait, should we do a mindful breathe stretch?
Yes, you gotta. Okay, we gotta set the tone. So right now, y'all, close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Let it out slowly. One more time, breathe in. Breathe out slowly. Loosen up those shoulders, stretch those arms out. I'm not going to stretch too far because though I put on deodorant this morning, it's 100 degrees outside.
Too much information. We're supposed to be stretching and focusing
I just want
and
y'all
centering.
to know.
We're supposed to be centering.
Them arms is arms and okay.
Stretch it out. Hey, it is what it is.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so let's get into it. So here's my question.
Okay.
Have you all ever had an instance where something happened, tragic, maybe death, of a family member, a close friend, you get it, or even an event that was very much so traumatic, especially in this day and age where we have to protect our mental health? Have you ever had something like that happen to you, but you held a position at a job, at an organization, but you feel as if you've never had enough time to fully, bereave. So, bereave, what is bereaving? Could you better assist them with that?
Yes. So, bereaved means to be deprived. I'm sorry, dang, got glasses on, can't read. Means to be deprived of a close relation or friend through their death. And so, bereavement is just the action or condition of being bereaved. In so many words, dealing with grief while at work or while working. To sum it up, basically.
So that's what you said. The bereavement is the action or condition of being bereaved.
Yes.
So let's get into this because a lot of jobs or places of employment that you all have worked at, I worked at, have these bereavement clauses or policies. They're probably in your handbook, which 9 times out of 10 you don't pick up and read and understand in totality.
Sometimes. Depends. When something comes up like bereavement, sometimes it's best when I went through it, initially I didn't go through the handbook, and then when it happened and they told me, I was like, let me check and make sure I don't get more days.
That's what I'm saying. On the initial, you probably don't know.
Yeah,
and you're usually not looking at you're not looking at the handbook to know what bereavement is, because it's kind of like life insurance. You don't think about it until
you need it.
You need it. So that's where I'm coming from. So I guess, why is bereavement important?
Why is it important?
Why would you say it's important?
I think bereavement is important because you need that time to process. Could you imagine, maybe this is a flip question back to you, could you imagine losing somebody and then the next day you still got to go to work? And it's like, bro, I ain't even processed nothing yet. Like, what is going on? Like,
right.
So I feel like bereavement, in terms of time off at work, is needed because you gotta have some time away from. You can't work and process. I just lost one of the closest people to me. You can't do that. So it's definitely important.
So I'm with you. I must say I second that. Bereavement is important to the fact that you need time to recoup. You need time to heal, time to, I guess, go through the mental motions. We say go through the motions of, okay, the physical, you're going to cry, you're going to hurt, but go through the mental motions too to tell yourself, okay, I have to get back. I have to get back on the horse. Am I ready to get back on the horse? Is the horse still there? Is the horse a good horse for me to get back on? Oh, let me stop.
Okay.
Let me chill. Let me chill. So, but it's useful because it helps you deal with grief, right? It helps you deal with those emotions, going through the mental motions.
So my bad, y'all. It's really hot, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm really like, bruh. It's hot. But anyway, I'm gonna just tell my personal story with grief, y'all. So this heat, well, y'all know it's been hot everywhere. So y'all, sometimes it messes with your head, but it's okay. My personal story with grief was, so when I lost my mother, first of all, I had been taking care of her like literally every single day from sun up to sundown for probably 6 months prior to her passing. And literally, like, I was there when everything happened. Like, she literally, like, from the time she passed, I had to step into, okay, we got to plan. We got to think of the funeral. It was literally no time to process. And the job that I worked at the time, it was just 3 days was their policy. And I think most jobs, like my job I'm at now, their policy is like 3 days, unless you have vacation time. But per policy, you get 3 days with pay. So for me, I feel like it took me like 3 days to plan my mom's funeral, if not 4. I just used some time off, I believe. And my supervisor was like, no, because they understood what my mom meant to me. So they were like, take all the vacation time or whatever you need, like take it. But I just reflected on bereavement time. I'm like, 3 days is ridiculous. I think my brother only got 2 at the time. I don't even think he got to take all his time. He had to go back to work. And I'm just like, that's ridiculous to have to do. Like, I feel like even with a week, it really took a week to get the funeral together. Um, let alone like you probably need another week to like process mentally. Like, I really didn't have any time to process because we had to plan the funeral. So, but considering what happens with grief, like the 5 stages of grief, do you think that like 3 days is a good enough time for?
I don't think 3 days is a good enough time.
And why not? Why?
Now, before I get started, let me get you a little background on my first bereavement days I took, which was probably
Who was it for?
It was for my boy. It was for my boy Biscuit. Yes, that's my brother. So yeah, I had to take those bereavement days, and yeah. Anyway, so hey, if you know what I'm saying, get in where you fit in, because yeah, that's your brother. That was my brother. So anyway, my first time actually getting it, it was I think, now the company I worked for, I was managing a clothing store, and the clothing store, they actually had us better than a lot of these employers. They actually had a pretty decent bereavement day. Now I think it was dependent on if it was a close relative, like a mother, parent, and sibling, it was more, or versus a great grandmother and stuff. So it was like different clauses like that. So that was pretty unique. And I think it was like you either get 3 days or you get 5 days. So
it gave you the option if you wanted to take 3 or 5.
yeah, they gave you the option for 3 or 5. So to that clothing store, it's easy to know where I work, but y'all will probably find out somewhere. But yeah, shout out to them for having that. But like, do I still think that like I took 3 and I had like some like you said, I had some time that I was just like, no. But I think I was back in like a week. So a week at the most. Do I even feel like, so 3 days, is it good? Heck no.
Well, okay, so back to your personal story though. With the time that you took off, do you feel like it helped? Did you have time to process? Like, what did you do during those 3 days? Or
during
5
those
days?
3 days, man, during those 3 days, I think I was doing a lot of soul searching.
What did that look like for you?
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
The microphones pick up.
Was it enough time? No. What was I doing during those 3 days? The first 3 days was really mentally trying to process that I just lost a best friend, a brother, like a big brother type mentor. You know what I'm saying? So like I remember one time I was about to do something mischievous, and the man stopped me, and that's where I was like, I have to just really honor and be like, oh no, he really care about my well-being. So that big brother thing just really like, it just came different. I remember my first step show, he was like, man, I don't care if y'all go out there and lose, fall. He told everybody who was stepping, like, I love y'all. And it was like,
my bad.
and it was like it was amazing. So I was really processing those first 3 days.
So you were going through memories those first 3 days in your head to yourself.
I was going through memories, and it was unreal. It was unreal. I was like, nah, this ain't happening. Like, just wake up.
Yeah.
Just wake up. I got this.
Gonna text your phone.
Yeah, I'm like, I just talked to you. We just said that we about to do right, get on this weight loss thing, and we was about to make a bet. So it was like, come on, get right. And boom. So it was processing mentally, just not being there, like, dang. Then the next couple of days, it was like, okay, so how can I be there for showing up for the funeral and the family, and trying to, you know what I'm saying, just be present. So that was a whole thing. And even I think we did like a little get together, and I really drank, and really, though I was around other brothers in love, but I really drank to try and hide the feelings. So I was like going into a stage of like, I don't want to feel like this still ain't real. I was going back to this ain't real. Yeah. Then like I said, I think I had like 7 days, and the next 7 days that was more so focused on, damn, I got to go back to work.
Yeah.
Like, what am I about to do with my life? How am I going to, how is this about to be different? So 7 days, I still,
You
nah.
feel like you needed more days?
Personally, yes. Um, yes. Personally, I feel like I needed more days. But we're gonna get into that. Like, is that on the company versus is that on me? But yeah.
Okay. So I know we've given our personal stories and like what we feel from the employee standpoint. But like what about the business standpoint? Like if you had your business owner,
Right.
if you have an employee, which I don't think you've made it that far to have like bereavement policies yet. We're working on it. It's coming
Right.
once we get our employees.
In due time.
But when we do, this is something we have to think about as business owners. Like, what is a realistic bereavement time from a business standpoint? Because we still have a business, though we love and care about our customers. I mean, our employees.
Right.
We still have a business to run. So, like, what from a business standpoint would be like a feasible bereavement time to give employees to process, knowing we're on the other end as employees that in actuality, it takes longer than 7 days. Could we see ourselves realistically giving 10 days, 3 weeks, a month for bereavement with pay? Like,
So let's get very candid and honest here. I'm gonna be very candid and honest. I'm willing to give a month, right? You can take a whole month off. I'm willing for my company to give you a whole month off. Now, as far as pay, I will pay you a third of that month. If I was generous, even more generous, if we're thriving as a business and everything of that nature, I'd give you probably half of the month pay. So that's 2 weeks. Now you can have the whole month.
so you're saying 2 weeks pay, but a whole month off. Is that what you're saying? Just so I'm understanding.
Yeah, so 2 weeks pay, you solid. We got you. That's on the everything's great, going well. Now, I'm really saying 10 days. I'll pay you 10 days,
Sorry.
and maybe I'll do a prorated rate. Like maybe I give you time and a half on, the 3 days after. But I'm just trying to be like, because the biggest thing I'm coming from, I do understand with companies, we do or they do. Everybody has a business to run, and you really can't stop that show. That's why I said it's not on. We can't solely put all the responsibility on that company, because it's also on you as an individual. Like if you have, sick time or something that you want to use, I will not make that a hassle for you to use. I will not make that a hassle for you to use.
It's not a big deal because it's like you saved that up. So if you want to use it, that's your business.
So in I know a lot of companies do this thing where if you don't use time when you have it, we drop it. So I don't want to run a company that way. If you accumulate that much time, use it. Yeah. It's yours. Stop. Like,
now, granted, we don't know the legalities of, because maybe by law, maybe they have some type of thing that we just don't know about where you can only use vacation and sick, and why certain jobs do that where you can't just at will use it. But I mean, I don't think, like, if you've worked hard, you've come to work every day, I don't see why that's a big deal. Like, if you need time off specifically for bereavement, take that time, use vacation and sick. I think that's good.
So like use vacation, use sick. So if you wanted to get paid, that's what I'm saying. So it's kind of, I will put some of that responsibility back on the person. You know how much time you need, as far as pay wise. So if you want to take some vacation times, then hey, if you got to save, it's all about planning. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we get on this, a company just doesn't care. It's not that they don't care. It's they have a operation. It's systems in place. And yeah, I can only, at most 10, I give you 14 days. So 2 weeks, that's half of the month typically.
I think the biggest thing is probably just not making it a hassle. Like, if you want to use time, like, so we by company law give you 10 days. Anytime after that, like, that's your vacation and sick time. Use it as you feel you need. But I also want to suggest on the employee side something that I was doing at the time. Actually, I think mine drained because we had gotten married, but I suggest making an emergency fund or a safe fund
Yeah.
where you put a percentage of your paycheck aside, not in a savings, but like another special savings, or like a rainy day fund. Because the fact of the matter is, we don't think about death.
Yeah.
We don't think about bereavement, the fact that we could lose the closest person to us tomorrow, and then per company policy we only have 3 days, but what's after them 3 days? You still need to think about time for yourself. If should you not have vacation, should you not have sick time, should your company not be willing to compromise with you, I think you should like save up and don't touch it, because again, we don't know. None of us know when our time is going to be called, or when the people that we love's time is going to be called. So just save. Like, my mom used to have like a Christmas savings, and she used to have like an actual savings and another savings for something else that she just would not touch. And I'm like, why is she saving like this? But you genuinely don't know. Like, that Christmas savings, like, hey, save all year, and then that's the money for your Christmas
Right,
gift.
right,
so,
right.
So
But
just get smart with saving.
it's like what you said. It's really an insurance policy. So,
Personal, yeah.
but no, it's a God, yeah, we're going down.
Shedding on the mic.
But like, it's an insurance policy. Not one that you take out with your job, but one you take out with yourself personally, because yourself is a job as well. So operate at high levels, man, higher levels. So,
Yeah.
like we said, put away some money, save some time. Not every so much you have to take a trip and drain. Like, oh, I think that's a misconception right now. Is, oh, when I want to take off, we gotta spend, take off, ball out. Like, no, bro. Like, it's some real stuff in life. Like, it's a lot of moving parts, and sometimes you have to be prepared for those moving parts.
And some people will say, well, no, tomorrow's not promised, so that don't make sense. But it's like, it is possible to put money to the side to save, to plan for future things. And it's possible to put money to the side for vacation and to splurge and to do whatever. So just be smart. To sum this up, be smart about what you're doing with your money also.
So I think something unique that I would propose, as far as like, to me, the grounds or amends in the middle, which is different, which is unique, which is why when I start hiring employees, y'all better come work for me.
Okay.
But it's, as much as they like 401ks, they match money and certain things like that. I want, if you put money in your bereavement account, I'll make a bereavement account. And I'll be like, look,
Okay.
I'll match, for every money you put in, I'll match a certain percentage. So, that's on top of me saying, you have this month off and you're getting this 14 days of pay, just to kind of help you out, because I do care. You know what I'm saying? So, to some of these companies out here, you need to come up with a plan. Or there should be a plan to kind of show your employees you do care.
But I also think this is probably a deeper conversation with jobs, but it's like, I think jobs should really think about their employees. Like, I don't know. That's a deeper conversation for a deeper time, because it's like, I think a lot of jobs want their employees to just show up. They don't think about real life happens outside of work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
it's like, sometimes hello employment, place of employment. When are you gonna show up for me?
Right. So
I think that's a big thing right now. I'm so sorry. I hate to go on a tangent, but I have to.
the job structures in itself. That's another conversation for another time, child.
Okay.
I do have an interesting kind of, well, it's not off topic, but switching gears a little bit. How do you feel about what most jobs qualify as what's covered in bereavement? Because bereavement, for those that don't know, most people know, but for those that don't know, most of the time bereavement is so many days off, but only for certain relatives. So So for like immediate family, most jobs that I know of is the immediate family. So your parents, your grandparents, your brother, your sister, your child, like immediate. But what about your best friend who's technically your brother, or your neighbor across the street that grew up with you that's like a sibling, or their parents who was like a parent if you grew up like community? So what do you feel about the technical qualifications of bereavement? What qualifies you to take bereavement or be eligible for bereavement, I guess I should say.
I'm going to say that's why it's like, ooh, that's a tough one. And that's some things you have to sit down and go over as a company. But I'm going to say, me, I don't think I'll be as strict to know who it was. Um, but I would put a stipulation. I would kind of put a stipulation out there that if it's, I'm not gonna be. I don't want to be super picky because a lot of these companies aren't super picky, which you know. But I'm gonna say it can't be excessive of
This week, your
Yeah.
grandma. That's what I was gonna counteract. I thought you were gonna say what I thought you were gonna
Yeah,
say,
so-
but I was gonna say you can't. You kind of have to have a guideline or a cutoff, because a lot of people, one week your grandma died, oh next week your next door neighbor died, this week the garbage man that take out the trash all the time, he died. You know what I'm saying?
So going back to what I said, giving them a month off, maybe that month is for direct parents. Even to the extent of grandparents, I know you're gonna hurt, but we know grandparents are typically older. We know that, but also knowing that if they raise you directly, is because we know a lot of grandparents step in for moms and dads that aren't there. Okay, if you were directly raised by them and can prove it, okay, cool, you get that month. But I'm still probably gonna give you that 10 to 14 day window for that one, because I'm kind of a realist, guys, and I'm a realist to the whole fact that we all have to leave this place.
Yep.
We all have to leave this place. So if you ain't even thinking about death, which I'm not saying have it on your mind, but if you're not even
Be proactive about
yeah,
thinking.
yeah, if you're not
planning.
even, come on now, don't. Nana ain't gonna stay here forever.
As much as we want it
As
to.
much as we want,
Unfortunately, she
mama
not.
ain't, sister ain't. So I'm a realist in that aspect, and especially if they up in age, don't. I'm. It's a lot to think about. I don't really even know.
It's just a different perspective from a business owner.
Yeah.
It's like you got to be sympathetic, but to an extent, I guess.
Yeah, because like
Because
what we
you
don't
still
want,
gotta.
it's a lot of people that'll take
lot of
kindness
moving
for a
parts.
weakness. Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of moving parts. That's a big say. That's our saying. It's a lot of moving parts.
Because from a business standpoint, though we care and we want to cater to our employees. Not every employee, but there's always gonna be that one or two. You out every week. Somebody died. My homeboy died. My cousin died. My cat died. Like, and it's
Right.
like, bro,
And I
we get
can't-
it. None of us want to work,
Right,
but
right,
don't
right.
take advantage of that.
Cause some people gonna take your kindness for a weakness.
Always.
And they're gonna try and overdo it. So I probably, now going back on it, I say I will give you 2 months at most.
With pay?
No, not with
Okay.
pay. I would say if you wanted to wait, if you wanted your bereavement to kick in, then I say choose a month. If you just losing people back to back, you're gonna have to choose a month. And after that month or two, I'm sorry, we gotta have you back, because that's 2 months out of my working. That's 2 months out of my production. So outside of 2 months, if you ain't working a third of the year, do I really need you with my company?
Yeah.
Do I really need you with my company?
Yeah. I'm gonna say, I guess what is a good compromise between employee and the company? Knowing that from an employee standpoint, we know 3 and 5 days is not. I think that honestly too, I know you said give them a month off, but I think a good compromise, a realistic compromise, is 2 weeks to me. 2 weeks pay, because one, you have that week to plan the funeral and get final arrangements and things, but then you have a week off to actually process and deal with before you get back to work. Now, do we think that's enough time to grieve? No, but I mean, this is life. Like, you can't, in a perfect world, we would love to take the whole year off to process and go through things and find ourselves. But I mean, you still gotta have some type of compromise. And your business, like, everybody's replaceable when it comes to business. Unfortunately, when it comes to employees, like, speaking as an employee, I could be replaceable. If too many deaths happen, you know what I'm saying? Because the business still has to go. It still has to flourish. You got to think about the type of business. Is this a startup business? Is this a business that's established? So basically, to sum it up, I think that 2 weeks to me is more realistic. I think
2 weeks pay, or are we saying? Just
I
point
think
of
2 weeks
clarification,
off
2 weeks?
with pay.
2 weeks off with
think.
pay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now I have a question that formulated in mind.
Maybe not for a startup. I'm sorry, that's probably bad for a startup company that's newer.
Yeah, for a startup company, like, yeah, we
or
got to
more
get you back on the ball,
established.
but more, like I said, yeah, more established, yeah, sure. But I have this question that I just formulated in my mind, and
What's that question?
Keenan stays scheming.
We've been watching Keenan and Kel.
We've been watching a lot of Keenan.
He didn't grow up on Keenan and Kel, but that's another conversation for another time.
My mom, sometimes we had cable, then we didn't have cable. It was this dude that used to come out and he used to climb the pole and hook up our cable. So look,
off subject, but we'll bring it back.
Well, yeah, but anyway, Keenan be scheming. So that's where that's coming from.
Oh, man.
Okay, so here's the question.
Okay, give it to me.
If I just breathe in the mic, I'm sorry.
Make sure that breath is straight.
So, do you feel as if bereavement should be extended for pets?
For pets? Like
pets.
Cat, dog?
Cat, dog, frog, hog. Don't forget the mog.
Not the mog.
But mostly for, I would say, cats and dogs. Do you feel like bereavement should be extended? Why and why not?
I don't think it should be extended. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. The way I understood the question, which it just registered, I thought you were saying should it be an extended time, like past the 2 weeks for a pet? But you're saying should we add like pets? So I lost my dog, my cat, my whoever on top of immediate family, like included with immediate family. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's a tricky one because I want to say no, because if that's the case, everybody has pets. Now you're going to have a whole company out on bereavement. You know what I'm saying? But also on the sympathetic side, I understand that some people have like childhood pets that may randomly die, and that really affects you like a human dying, like your parent dying or something. So I'm not saying like, oh, them dying, they're good, they're cool. But at the same time, I think if you make it too broad, you gonna be out of employees.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? From a business standpoint.
Right.
From an employee standpoint, I would like to see that. Because who's gonna tell me little Cujo just died and it ain't touching my soul, it ain't touching my heart.
Smokey, man. R.I.P. my dog Smokey, man.
Shout
I miss Smokey.
Diggy. I miss Diggy.
Man, I miss Smokey. Boy, we had a lot on Kobe.
We just had to.
But yeah. All right, so would I extend it to them as an owner? No.
As a business owner?
No. And I thought about it.
That's the smart, because nobody's doing that.
I really wanted to. Do the
inclusion.
Now, it's like I'm torn because I really want to, as far as service animals, which is probably a service dog.
So maybe make a service pet. But then still, that's where it gets tricky, because it's always going to be them one or two people that's going to be like, well, I had a pet guinea pig, it was a service pet, and it's like, bruh, stop playing.
Well, yeah, because
stop.
Like, let's be honest, guys. You know, when it came to dogs being allowed in stores, everybody started to, well, why she has her dog? Well, my dog is a service animal. Well, my dog is a service animal, so that's gonna get tricky.
People have service animals on planes, and it's like a small dog, like. And then I think by law, I don't know law, but I think by law, you can't even ask, like, okay, I need proof. Like, when I took bereavement, though my supervisor knew that, because I had FMLA and everything for my mom. So she knew like my mom had been sick, but like them folks can't ask for proof of like, well, who was it? Let me see the obituary. Oh, it was your dog. Let me see this, that. Like, you can't ask for proof. So, are you gonna extend pets where they can be like
FMLA.
my
What
fish?
is FMLA in more totality?
FMLA. You put me on the spot. I can't even think of the acronym right now. I know what it
Let's do.
is.
Hold on. Let's go
It's
to the
family and medical leave.
leave of absence.
Leave of absence or
Let's
something like that.
let's see,
but,
guys. Let's go. I'm finna go to the research department. I
But
lost my focus.
basically, FMLA it protects you from losing your job while you have to be out for something. So, like, let's say you have, I think if you have kids, bereavement, or if you're taking care of a family member, a loved one, if you just given birth, just some type of, you just had surgery, but you don't get paid for FMLA. I think that's where vacation time or short-term disability, things like that come into play. If you qualify for it, they help you to be paid on top of your FMLA while you're out.
Okay, I'm still currently. Just stay with me. I'm
Don't
still
quote me
currently
on that, but
going through my files at the. I lost my
family,
package.
family and medical leave of absence. Dang it, I should know
Jeez
this on my major.
Louise.
It's been a time. Family and medical.
Okay,
leave
I'm gonna
of
say this, and this is Wikipedia. We know Wikipedia isn't the best, but anyway, it is the Family and Medical Leave Act,
I hope that's what I see it.
which was rendered in 1993. Like that word, rendered. Which was rendered in 1993. It's a
says we
United
got
States
education.
labor law requiring covered employees to provide employers to provide employees with job protected unpaid leave for qualified medical and family reasons. So that leave is unpaid.
Unpaid, yes, it is unpaid. So that's where the jobs I've had, you could, like, when you do your benefits, you can sign up for short-term disability. That short-term or long-term disability, if I'm not mistaken, is what allows you to be paid on top of your FMLA. Now, if you don't have the short-term disability or qualify for that, and then check with your job. I know that's been in my jobs that I've had, even when I worked in HR. So some jobs might have something different. But yeah, FMLA is not paid. It just, if you got to be out for an extended period of time, it's just telling your job, hey, this person is covered. You cannot fire them because they're out sick or out taking care of their loved one. Or for me, I had FMLA as a caregiver because I was caring for my mother. So.
Okay. So let me finish this Wikipedia excerpt. The FMLA was a major part of President Bill Clinton's first term domestic agenda, and he signed it into law on February 5th, 1993. Oh, I had just had a birthday, January 31st, 1993. So yeah, the FMLA is administered by the Wage and Hour Division of the United States Department of Labor. So yeah, okay. I have not, me personally, I have not used like no FMLA type of ordeal or anything of that nature. But
so with knowing that now though, with FMLA, would you, and again, we don't know the legalities. Technically, if we did know, you probably can't do FMLA with bereavement, or maybe you can, and there's a loophole. Who knows? But in a perfect world, would you include FMLA? So would it be how you were saying you want a month, but they get paid for 2 weeks? How about you can take a month, you get a month FMLA maybe, but 2 weeks is paid, and then them last 2 weeks you can use vacation time or whatever, but FMLA. Well, I don't know, because by law, I think you can't do a month, but we don't know the legalities of it. But
so,
if we had to make it up, I guess.
If I ain't gonna stunt. So as an employer, I would probably use that FML or try to, like I say, we don't know let's put another clause in there, guys. We don't know all the laws.
Don't be arguing with the camera like that.
Right.
You can't do that. You stupid. We don't know the legal part.
But so. I would say as an employer, I'm looking to use that FMLA as that 30 days. Or, you know what I'm saying, that time, and I'm still saying, hey, I'm gonna give you half a month's pay.
Okay.
So
we at least giving you half months.
And I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna be very laying that out on the line for the employee. So letting them know like these are your options and not leaving them in the blind. I think that's a lot of distastefulness with bereavement and feeling like a job doesn't give you this and give you that. It's the fact that they don't lay it on the line and let you know, like, okay, these are your
options. Yeah.
Like I said, it's in your handbook, but normally you're probably not reading that handbook. Like, let's just keep it all the way fun.
Well, even if you don't got nothing to do with work, anybody reading that book, child? Anybody?
Yeah, I just got my handbook a couple of days ago, and I'm like,
reading? Nobody.
Nah, it's only 41 pages, but I'm still probably gonna pick
Dress
mine
code.
up.
That's probably the biggest thing that I'm like, okay, what's that about? Other than that,
Cause dress code wise, I would wear my hoochie daddy shorts.
Not the
to
hoochie
work.
daddies.
The hoochie daddy shorts to work. But no. But that's
well. So final question.
Final question. Let's cue the no, not that. What's the show? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music? Dun dun dun.
I watched that show one time. One time.
Yes.
I was watching Disney Channel and stuff. Don't judge me. Anyway, so I'm sorry. I forget. It's been a while since I recorded. My bad. Anyway, can you really get over grief with? I say grief. Can you really get over grief with time? And if so, like, how long does it take you to get over your grief? Or your loved one, losing your loved one?
I feel like every situation, can you get over grief with time? My answer is yes. You can with time. I feel like how much time is dependent on the relationship, the kind of, I would say the relationship, the closeness, and it's a lot of moving parts with that. That's like we say, it's a lot of moving parts. But every case is different. And will you be fully out the clear? I don't necessarily think so. You will always think about them and love them and think about the good times and even some of the bad times. But like I said, it's all dependent on that relationship and the moving parts.
I think that you can't get over grief with time. Speaking personally, it's been 4 years. And well, you kind of touched on it. But it's been almost 4 years in October for me since losing my mom. And like, I darn near cried on my lunch break today just because she was on my mind. And I was like, still processing and like, dang, I wish I could just take off and just go home and just be in bed. But no, I got to go back from my lunch break to work like nothing ever happened. So I don't think necessarily there's never going to be, okay, it took me this long to get over grief. So I think that's more of a personal, internal thing that you got to figure out with yourself. Do I want to stay working for someone where I can't put my mental health first with being able to process me struggling to grieve my loved one? Or should I try something different? Should I try to go into business for myself? Should I read books and educate myself? Try to not only heal myself through grief and better coping mechanisms for grief to get me in a better headspace, but also, should I look into entrepreneurial things so that I can be my own boss? Should I look into another business or working for another job, even if that's not for you? Because entrepreneurship is not for everyone. So maybe just changing jobs and keeping your options open. You know what I'm saying?
I hate to interject.
Be proactive. Basically.
I hate to interject, but like you did say some good stuff.
Okay. Oh, well, we are a family podcast. Sorry.
But
PG.
It was like, should you find that this whole bereavement policies and
it's too much for you?
It's too much.
It's not fair.
Why not? Why not think about entrepreneurship? A lot of times you are free to, move and maneuver when you have to, when you need to. Now, here's a tidbit. I know it was supposed to be the final question, but here's a tidbit. As an entrepreneur, how much time is enough time
running your business
before you have to get back on that horse?
I think, and I'm only saying this because I saw a clip of Diddy, and he was talking about the real hustle is being able to hire people to work for you, to get your job done, to run your business so you ain't got to do nothing. But that's on a mogul standpoint. You get what I'm saying? So I think mogul. That's probably my lip. But but now on your mogul standpoint, so that might be something to look into. But again, I know everybody's not entrepreneur. So that's why I said at least read. So for me, I've been reading more self-help books to help me better process things in a better way, to better cope with grief, and even just unlearning some childhood traumas and stuff. You'd be surprised at
Yeah,
how like
no doubt.
really reading and like digging deep in yourself and seeing why do I take a while to process things? Why do I hide things? Why do I blow up when certain things happen? Like just doing that self work, that in itself gives you mental capacity and mental space
Why
to
do
better,
I?
to better your, it just helps your mental health basically.
So now I needed my answer, and you kind of worked around it so
I'm
eloquently. You're not a mogul. You're not getting nobody.
I'm just me teaching.
You getting it out the mud right
From
now with your
P3rd.
business.
My
How
bad.
much time are you going to use before you say, okay, I'm back? I'm back like, a snap.
Like working for a business? Is that
No,
what you-
working for yourself. You're the entrepreneur.
like an entrepreneur.
It ain't. There isn't many
Um,
employees. You have to run that
I'm a
thing.
startup. So with entrepreneurialism, if I can make that a word, yep, I'm doing it. It's a tough thing. You kind of got to know what comes with that though. Like you're betting on yourself for the betterment of your business. You kind of got to tuck your head. You really can't get no time out realistically unless like you got homegirls and people who will. Depends on the business. It's so subjective. You know what I'm saying? Because is this a clothing store? Is this, I don't know. So realistically, in my mind, I personally would take a month off if I could afford it. If I'm running my business, even if it's a startup, have I saved up enough money to take off for, let's say I have saved up enough money for like 6 months rent. Cool. I'm going to at least take a month off and then I'll bury myself back in work or whatever the case may be. But let's say I didn't save up. As an entrepreneur, you kind of got to know that you're betting on yourself. So, I mean, I might have to eat that. I might have to be like, dang, I just lost my mom, but I might take a couple days for myself because I really can't afford it because this is a new business, but I got to get back into it. And maybe that's my healing is just planning and getting back into it. I don't, it's subjective
I'm with you.
to me.
It, like you said, it's subjective. It's very much so a play by play because I'm thinking in the sense of if I have clients or something, I have to give them the benefit. I have to give them leeway to let them know what's going on.
If you're like
I'm gonna be
hair
out a
salon
month
or something.
Yeah, why I'm gonna be out a month. How can I help y'all in advance to cover that month? So I do agree though. A month that just sits right with me.
Yeah.
A month, even working for somebody a month and being an entrepreneur a month.
Yeah.
If I can get that month, I can get back to me.
Yeah. At least
a month. But like I know
we
some
can't
people
do
may
5,
want more.
6 months. That's
Yeah,
not
I can't
realistic
give
as
you-
much
that's
as
not
we would
realistic.
love to.
A month is a stretch, and I think maybe back in the day people tried longer times. We don't know, but a month, it seems like it can work. But yeah, new word alert: entrepreneurialism.
I'm so smart. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, it's I don't think it's.
It is a word. How does it feel to be like married to
So
a
let's
genius?
we're gonna insert a new word alert.
New word alert.
Bam! Explosions. You see them explosions?
Harlem
Point at
Shake
the
with
word.
it.
Whoa, my bad, y'all. Yeah, but anywho, so guys, that's
You wanna do a poem?
that's pretty much the episode. But we can't leave you all without providing you all with a poem. So I'm gonna try to pull this poem. I'm gonna try to pull this poem up. So y'all just bear with me for a sec.
See, what y'all don't know is my bae got bars. Period.
Refer to me as either Husky Hefe or Fat Fitness.
My bae got bars, like I
Jose
said. What you not gonna do?
Cortez. But yeah, let me pull this up and let y'all know.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. He low key, like I'm just getting back into poetry. So bear with me. I'm still on like middle school level where I left off. But I'm stepping my bars up
So
slowly but surely.
let me let y'all know that she's pretty legit herself. Now she says you're pretty good, and
He's dope AF,
well, the
y'all.
thing is, I was a signed artist back in high school to background music. So shut
What
up.
was your artist name? What was your name? Tell them folks what your name was. Tell them stop playing with
Hey,
them.
hey, I was Jutro.
Yeah.
You hear me?
What that said? How you get that name? How you come up with it?
Because I got that name because Julius Caesar.
Okay.
Hey, he was the beast. But
Okay.
then you know what I'm saying? What's his name? John Travolta. I had
Hey.
watched Gone in 60 Seconds.
Come on.
So I took the Jew from Julius and I put it in the
Innovation.
Tro from Travolta. And that's
Innovative.
how I got Jutro.
Period.
Yep.
Stop playing with
So
little
that's how
Jutro.
Jutro was born. But I done graduated from that name.
Young
But,
Jutro on the track. Was that how y'all
Hey,
was?
nah, I wasn't no young Jutro. Jutro. Jutro, boy.
Jutro.
Julius Travolta, man. Let me pull
This
up
name.
this stuff.
It's giving nerdy
Now,
movie buff. That's what it's giving.
I wasn't like on no. Hold on, I can't. I was real smart. I don't. That doesn't qualify as being a nerd. What qualifies as being
Boy, where is this
a
poem?
nerd? I gotta look for the. I gotta pull it up and stuff. Dang, we gotta keep the people going. Oh, just bear with me one time.
Y'all, it's hot in
I
here.
lost my podcasters.
My eyes watering. Can y'all see? First of all, I just want to take the time. I got on glasses, but let's take the time to like. I'm not gonna plug the products I've been using thus far because I'm on day like how many days? Day 4 of like using this local brand's what is it called? Skincare. It's all natural.
She talking, y'all. I'm coming with that poem.
If y'all know me, you know that I am very holistic and I like all natural things. So, and I love supporting local people here in Nashville. So, yeah, I think my skin is clearing up. It's
And
getting
y'all,
better.
she
So,
had her glasses on. These mine. How y'all think I look?
okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, but I don't know who glasses these is, so I gotta take them off because they make my head hurt.
Not you putting
I
them on,
think,
take them off.
yeah, I think as I moved, somebody glasses got set with me, and whoa, they probably got prescription in there.
You can't see.
I can't see Nathan. But anyway,
All right.
let's get to it if we must. It's your boy, the Fat Fitness Model, Husky Hefe, Jose Cortez, Jutro, and this is Poetry in the Park. Take 2 for me. Take 2. This poem is entitled I Just Need a Moment by Husky Hefe himself, Joshua Gray, the Fat Fitness Model, Jose Cortez. Deep breaths, just calm down. Internal talks, I'm calm now. Misdiagnosis, hypnosis, all motion just stop. I'ma just need a moment. Hey, suck that up. We gotta get all this over there to over here, the slow grind. Ain't no time for a hiccup. Process this damn truck. I know you out of it, but pick that shit up. Blinded by the pain, the feeling of misdirection, I can't tell which way's up. Head on the water, a couple more breaths until oxygen levels just fuck. I'ma need more than a moment. You said you got my back, right? Well, I need you back. In fact, I think it's one of those nights. One in which I need you here. Your voice I want to hear. His voice again, her voice again. We're so close to each other. My next of kin. Who am I? What is my? Why did? I just need a moment. I just need a moment to process and let this sink in. I need space to honor the passing of my friend. Can I have my moment? When will this hurt ever end? I just need a moment. Yes.
Good job, Pooh.
So, let me give y'all a little tidbit of what going through some of these.
Can I give what
Yeah.
I got from it?
Go ahead.
I think you captured very eloquently what someone would go through if they were grieving or going through that bereavement process of processing. Like, darn, what do I do? Like, I'm taking a deep breath. Okay, calm down. You do have internal talks with yourself. you might misdiagnose yourself, like, oh my god, like my heart is racing. Grief and depression go hand in hand. So you and anxiety. So it's so much that goes into grieving somebody that we don't talk about normally. So I think you really, like, that's a perfect poem for this episode.
Yeah.
And you do need a moment. So kudos. Yay.
Yes.
Told y'all he got bars.
So check it out. We're going to start with the first stanza. It says, deep breaths, just calm down. Internal talks, I'm calm now. Misdiagnosis, hypnosis, all motion, just stop. So if you could picture this, it's the person that's dying, taking the last deep breaths. I'm trying to calm down.
Okay.
Internal talks, I'm calm now. I'm calm. It's a misdiagnosis. This is also the person going to the hospital or getting the news like, hold on, they said he was gonna be okay or she was gonna be okay.
Okay.
And it's a hip. Then it goes into the person going to hypnosis. So it's like, oh man, I don't know what to feel. I don't know what to feel. What's going on?
Yeah.
All motion, just stop. So as my friend or my loved one passes on, all motion do what? You just stop. You like, damn. To them, if they made it to the hospital, all motion just stop. So that was the first stanza.
Okay.
It was kind of playing out the situation. I'ma just need a moment. So you're like, oh man. So next stanza said, hey, suck that up. So A, suck that up is saying somebody's about to tell you, hey, suck that, trying to tell you suck that up, come back to work, but you telling them shh. That's why I didn't say the S-H-I-T. I would say shh, because you like, I don't want to hear no negativity. So we got to get all this here to over there. The slow grind. Ain't no time for a hiccup. Process this damn truck. I know you out of it, but pick that shit up. And they circle back, that manager or that asshole, because it's going to be assholes, circle backs, double backs, and tells you, hey, bro, we have work to do. Or, hey, sister, we got to get it going. Of course, simple, you're blinded by the pain, the feeling of misdirection. I can't tell which way's up. I'm trying to process things. In the whole grand scheme of bereavement and things of that nature, you're trying to process that you just lost a loved one. Head underwater, a couple more breaths until oxygen levels. Fuck. So that's just, now you feeling like you're drowning in your emotions. You're drowning in your emotions, and you're just trying to breathe. You're trying to get back. You're trying to get back until your oxygen levels. You're like, okay, I can't hold it no longer. I'm dying inside, or and then you say, I'm gonna need more than a moment. Now you realize, oh, this is gonna take more time. So it went from I just need one to I'm gonna need more than one. So you said you got my back, right? Well, I need you back. In fact, I think it's one of those nights. One in which I need you here, your voice I want to hear. So it's the same playing as the first stanza, in which I'm telling you're having that conversation with probably a close coworker, like, no, you my ride or die. You my ride or die. I need you here to work with me, because sometimes you get those close relationships, but in the same breath, you're having that conversation with, like, dang, you just passed on, moms or friend. You said you was gonna be here. We got to do all this. I just want to hear your voice again. While you got somebody at work, like, I can't make it without you either. I need you back at the job, because sometimes, a lot of times in a lot of situations, we see that, a lot of people that work together keep other people in positions, because they like, I love to work with Demetria. Ooh, my bad, government. I love to work with
It's common knowledge.
Michi G, or I love to work with Husky Hefe. And if he gone, I'm gone. I saw that firsthand when I worked at a auto parts store, and they'll tell you straight up, they was like, if he leaves, I'm out of here. So her voice again, his voice again, we're so close to each other, my next of kin. So that's the relationship with the person that passed, or the relationship with your coworker. Like, sometimes I'm a firm believer in family is, who you create, and is deeper than just blood. Just because we come from the same bloodline don't necessarily mean
Could be your god sister,
Yeah.
your neighbor, or somebody.
So I'll be like, that family thing is deep.
Yeah.
So Almost done. Who am I? What is this? Why did? That's just
Questioning.
that's just questioning.
Yeah.
I just need a moment to process and let this sink in. I need space to honor the passing of my friend. That's saying to those employers, like, have a heart. That's the biggest thing. Have a heart. Have some sympathy, some empathy, to be like, okay, I understand this person, this guy, this girl just lost someone near and dear. So it ends. It ends with saying, can I have my moment? When will this hurt ever end? And sometimes it's like you begging for your moment and you need people to know, I just need my moment. Can I have that? Can I have that? So sometimes some employees probably wanted to turn to that company or those managers and say, can I have my moment? And you also asking yourself, when will this hurt ever end? Because you don't know the timeline, but you know you got to get back on the horse.
Yeah.
So that was my poem.
Hey, one time for the one time.
Entitled
A poet, and you know it.
You Better Know It. That was my poem entitled I Just Need a Moment. So, with that being said, guys, we aren't going to hold you guys any longer.
This was a good episode.
This was a
Yay.
great episode.
Hopefully it helps y'all too. Comment if you're watching on YouTube. Comment below any thoughts on bereavement. If you agree, if you disagree,
Tell us what's
your
the timeline.
point of view. What do you think is a good enough time to process?
What's a good time to process or bereave somebody or give bereavement time? Let's really dig into it. Let's talk a little bit. So, yeah, I have nothing more to say, but we appreciate you all. We love you all. Nothing else matters in this world but that 4-letter word, love. So always show love, spread love. LOVEEEN love. But
You making the sound.
but that's me, Joshua Gray, Husky Hefe. Ooh, the fat fitness model Jose Cortez. And I'm saying, look, I may have lost my podcast, but I found you, and by me finding you, it's been great.
We out, y'all.